How to get over your ex. Welcome to my new video. Let's go. If you're trying to let go of your past, but it's not working for you, it is very important to first understand that it's not about time. Time doesn't heal anything. It's not about forgetting. It's not about blocking or cutting cords with someone. If you really want to let go of your ex or any other previous partner, all exes, right? And you really want to move on. You really want to make a clean slate. You want to heal your heart, create a clean slate for your future. You want to manifest a new life, new compatible partner. It is extremely important that you do next steps. First step is to understand that the only reason why you are still attached and why you still keep holding on the past, and maybe why you're still hoping, and maybe why you're still begging or trying to get back with them and they're not receiving you, is because this attachment that you have for a certain feeling that you got in this relationship. This is really important to understand. It's not about the person. It's not about the experience. It's not about the relationship. It is about certain feeling that you cannot let go of. Usually that is, but I love them, or they gave me safety. Nobody took care of me like them, or they had this specific thing that they did when they were talking and this made you feel a certain way, right? So when we discover which feeling we are attached to, then we can understand where is our lack. Attachments are created only from lack. When you are in an overflow, when you are fully connected to yourself and remember that you are the source of everything you need, which doesn't mean you don't need other people, but it means you don't need attachments. You will choose people based on the same values, not only based on attachment and trauma bonding. So usually why people cannot let go of their ex is because they still have lack inside of them that they didn't heal, and they still are attached to another person because of that feeling that they got in that relationship with that person. What is the feeling? What is the feeling that you still feel attached to? Take a piece of paper and write it down. What is the best thing that you have experienced in this relationship with your ex that you cannot let go of? And what is exactly the feeling that you got in that moment? When you discover this feeling, then move on to the next step. And that is, where am I lacking this inside of me? Where is this lack coming from? Why am I lacking love? Why am I lacking attention? Why am I lacking safety? Where is the root of this? This is the part where the healing needs to happen. This is the part where you need to dive deep into yourself and find this root of lack, whether that's in your childhood, whether that's something in your lineage. Is it relationship with your mother, with your father? Is it something that you're carrying for lifetimes? This is the part where you can do Theta healing session, family constellation, Reiki, or any other technique that can help you dive deep into yourself and heal that lack. I will link a video here because I will create, after this video, a healing session for letting go of your ex, Theta healing session, and you can watch that video. When we heal our lack, then we change our perspective on the other person. Maybe after one healing session, you'll just let go. Maybe you'll not. Maybe there is multiple attachments. Maybe there is multiple connections. There is also one part of relationships that I want you to understand that can make it difficult to let go of the relationship, to let go of the ex and move on, is that there are certain contracts that we create with people before we come to this earth to learn certain lessons together. And until those lessons are learned, we cannot move on. This type of lessons are usually much deeper, much more painful, and much more challenging because it needs to squeeze us through challenge, pain, or problem so we can look at it. So that's why you will see people stay in certain toxic dynamics for a very long time and they cannot break free, or you keep on coming back to your ex and leaving and coming back, and you're still in this unclarity or feeling of stuckness. Like many times I heard from people, we cannot be together, but we cannot be separate. This is lesson that is not learned, and this is unfinished business. So what we need to do is to really sit with ourselves and ask ourselves, what is this relationship teaching me? Not the person. What is this relationship teaching me? What am I learning through this relationship? Am I learning to let go? Am I learning to love myself? Am I learning to respect myself? Am I learning to stand up for myself? Am I learning to forgive? What is the lesson? When you discover the lesson, the main lesson for you, the lesson of your soul, then the relationship will dissolve on its own from your reality. Literally, the person can be ejected from your reality through certain circumstances that you don't even have to take action. Sometimes there is multiple lessons, and you will be learning them together on the way, right? You learn a certain lesson, then the other person learns the lesson, and then you move on and you evolve together to a certain point. And this can maybe be for years. I have experienced this in my marriage. We have been evolving together, both of us healing, both of us understanding the lessons. And in the moment when the lessons were learned, we divorced. And it was very smooth. There was no drama. It was just time to everyone move their own way because the lessons were finished. And we both knew that. It doesn't have to be drama. It doesn't have to be, pain. It is uncomfortable, that's for sure. But when you really take full responsibility of your life and you start digging deeper and asking yourself questions like, what am I learning? Where is this lack inside of me? How can I heal this? Then your reality and your life moves like a river downstream, much easier. Of course, there is still bumps, there is issues, there is problems, but until you are stuck, why is this happening to me? I cannot let go. I want to run away. I want to attach, and so on. When you're in this victim mindset, when you still feel you don't have power over your life, when you still feel that you don't have power over your reality, you will be a victim of the circumstances. Taking your power back means starting to do healing. When you start doing healing, you will see that it's all just your internal beliefs, experiences, and lacks that are being projected into your reality, and you're literally attracting it to your life so you can look at it and shift the distortions in the relationships. To fully let go of your ex, you need to tap into forgiveness. You need to understand that whatever happened, you can forgive yourself and you can forgive to the other person. And when the forgiveness comes in, when acceptance comes in, when you understand fully the contract between you two, when you fully understand the lessons you've been learning, when you understand the lack that this relationship has showed you and you heal, then the only thing you can feel for that experience with your ex is gratitude. And when you reach to that point that you're grateful for the experience, that you understand your lessons, it's going to be much easier to move on no matter the experience you had with them. Even if it's a terrible experience, we can always come back to forgiveness and gratitude, because that gratitude and forgiveness is for us. It's for us to live in peace. It's for us to live in the frequency of love. It's for us to understand that we have closed our cycles and now we can move on to the next experience. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you soon.